Okay, Daniel, I'm gonna put the meeting in your hands and I'm gonna let you run with it. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Sean.
You're
All right.
welcome.
All right,
And you are now the host.
All righty, thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
All right, welcome, everybody. We're gonna start the roundtable like we always do. Except for without a video, we're gonna just do Pledge of Allegiance and the Scout Oath and Scout Law. I'm not as high speed as John, so I don't have the video, so just join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country. I will help other people at all times. I will keep myself. I'll keep myself physically fit, morally straight, and mentally strong. Wrong. Physically strong and mentally straight. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Yes. Let me just share the screen. All right, and everybody, can you please put what unit you are in the chat? How do you do it?
Just click share. Yes.
Yeah.
I should be able to see it.
Yeah, but I need to go to this. I'm trying to share this. I can't share it because this is blocking what I'm trying to go to.
You need to go into the. Which one, this one?
Nope, next one. All right, so the hot topic we're going to talk tonight about is service and gratitude. Participating in service projects is one way that scouts keep their promise to help other people at all times. As we approach the holiday season, it is important to take time to consider all the good in our lives. Being of service is a great way to act on those feelings of gratitude. Scouts and their units can give back in many ways. Service to the charter organization, to the community, or to the world. Time spent on service projects should be enjoyable, age appropriate, and relevant to help ensure a meaningful experience. Our hot topic, our safety moment tonight is going to be about the annual health form. Just click play.
Whether it's Cub Scout Day Camp and Derby Days or Boy Scouting and venturing camping trips and high adventure excursions, having fun is very important to everyone in scouting, and so is their safety and well-being. Completing the annual health and medical record is the first step in making sure you have a great scouting experience. The BSA Annual Health and Medical Record, often known as the medical form or the annual physical, is designed to help ensure that all participants in the scouting program are healthy enough for the adventure of scouting. It is not intended to limit participation, but to inform and protect. One thing parents and leaders normally want to know is why the BSA requires a release and a health history of all participants in scouting events. There are actually three key reasons. First, completing a health history promotes health awareness and provides critical information needed to treat someone in the event of an illness or injury. It also provides consent for treatment in the event a participant needs emergency care while traveling away from a parent or guardian. Second, poor health and lack of awareness of risk factors have led to disabling injuries, illnesses, and even fatalities. And third, the annual health and medical record also serves as the tool that enables councils to operate day and resident camps and adhere to BSA and state requirements. Parts A and B should be completed for all participants and scouting leaders. Part C should be completed by a licensed healthcare provider before the participant attends any scouting event that is longer than 72 hours, such as a summer camp, trek, or multi-day excursion. The optional high adventure risk advisory, formerly known as Part D, needs to be shared with the examining medical provider during the pre-participation examination to explain known health risks for each of BSA's 4 high adventure bases. Additionally, your council may develop a risk advisory specific to your council camp or other properties or events. To assure privacy, the form should be maintained by a designated leader, carefully stored and used only as needed to provide for planning and rendering care. Medical forms should not be scanned, stored, or sent electronically except as specifically directed for a BSA national event such as the National Jamboree. To keep up with possible changes in health status, the form needs to be updated annually or when a participant's health information changes. Find more tips and resources on AHMRs and other safety moments on the Scouting Safely web.
Exit this.
Yep.
All right, and tonight our roundtable is going to be about den chiefs, and my PAC 14's Bear Den leader Kylie has some information for you guys to talk about den chiefs.
Stop sharing. It's either one. Should switch back to us. Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Kylie Waltz. I'm the Bear Den leader in PAC 4014. I'll be presenting on Den Chief Awards today. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me and ask. I know everybody is muted and it looks like I don't have many cameras on, but that's okay. So I have a couple of topics I wanted to talk about den chiefs. We are presenting on this because we are, our PAC is getting our den chiefs. We've actually already had them for 2 meetings. And we are going to present the den chief training on December 9th to them. So I've been doing a lot of research into what the den chief training is, how we can utilize our den chiefs. And for those of you who don't know, a den chief is an older scout in the Boy Scout troop level who is coming to our PAC meetings at the Cub Scout level to help with the den meetings and the PAC meetings, and then any activities or anything that we might be doing. So they're really, really helpful when you've got a large amount of children that, you know, in your den that may be hard to keep tabs on all the time, may be difficult to keep 100% of your children engaged. So they are really great for helping with that. Along the lines of what is in it for them, why they are there. That is to be in a leadership position, aside from patrol leader, senior patrol leader, or junior assistant scoutmaster, so that they can be in a leadership position to help get Eagle, and then also to get the Den Chief Award, which is a specific award only for the kids who help out with Den Chief. So as far as the program is, it is a 6-month to 1 year program. We'd love to have them for a year, but of course we all know that things happen. So as many months as they are able to help. They are asked to come in every meeting, every PAC meeting and every den meeting. They are assigned to different dens. They are going to be assigned to the Weeblos and Arrow Light Den, bears and wolves. The tigers and lions do not get assigned a den chief. For the program, they are there to help out, like I had mentioned. The biggest, like, overall word for what they're doing is activities helper. They're going to help manage the activities, help manage the kids, and learn how to be leaders in the process. We really want to make sure that we're teaching leadership in small groups for the kids. These kids are in high school or middle school, and this is their first step into how to be a leader. We're not asking them to babysit, we're asking them to be leaders within the program. So that could be running our gathering activity. What we do, and part of a meeting, of course, as we know, is that we're going to start with the gathering activity, which is trying to keep the kids engaged. While the den leaders can set up their materials, parents can ask den leaders questions. Den chiefs are excellent to utilize in this way, that they are able to run these games. Of course, it's a very informal game, bouncing a ball around, keeping a beach ball up, things like that in that nature. So their program runs 6 months to a year. When they come in, they are supposed to start to get to know the kids. They're supposed to be a friend to the Cub Scouts, not a adult figure. There is no discipline asked from them. They should not be doing that. They should only be friendly, courteous, kind, and of course, we want to make a very positive environment for the Cub Scouts, and the den leaders or den chiefs are going to help with that positive environment. As far as conducting the training, we are asked to conduct the training as part of receiving the Den Chief Award and part of the program. They have two options right now. They can either do it online or they can do it in person. We are conducting an in-person Den Chief training. Choosing the Den Chief at the Scout level, the Scoutmaster is going to end up choosing the Den Chief. These are going to be kids that you want who can commit to the times. We don't want the kids to overcommit themselves. If they have sports after school activities, they need to make sure that nothing is going to conflict with the den and pack meetings that are usually going to be at the same date, the same time. Ours are Tuesday at 6. So if the child is unable to make Tuesday at 6, then maybe Den Chief is not going to be a leadership position that they should partake in at that exact time. And of course, school changes, schedules change, they may be able to do it at a different time. This isn't a one and done thing. You want to have kids that are really good at following through with their word. When we ask them to show up at a certain place, we want them to be there. We want kids who are motivated. This is a leadership position, not something that we're just throwing them into, or like you're the brother of a younger scout to help out. This is a leadership position and we want leaders. Leadership can be taught. We absolutely can teach those skills. And then we want to make sure at the end of it that we do have kids who have a passion for helping with younger kids. We've got ages 6 to 10, 5 to 10 in our pack, 5 to 11 in our pack. That is a big range of very small kids. And if you don't have a older scout who is able and willing to help with that, perhaps the Den Chief is not the right role for them. And again, in the BSA program, we have plenty of other leadership roles that they can choose from if little kids aren't their jam. Going into the next part is the Den Chief Award. Now this award is what the Den Chiefs want to get. This is the whole reason for doing it aside from the leadership skills. This award is basically based off setting a great example. Most of the requirements on them are going to be show up in uniform, show up on time, be present, set a good example for the kids. And that's what we want. We want these kids, we want the Cub Scouts to be able to look up to that older scout and say, that's what I want to be when I reach the BSA level. And these kids are coming in to talk about the BSA program, what they're doing, to share their knowledge. You know, if we're on a hike or if we're doing an activity and a Cub Scout does not know how to do something, we do expect the Den Chiefs to be able to step in if they know the skill and to share their wisdom. And I think that's an excellent part of the program, is for the kids to be able to share what they know. It's also part of the Den Chief Award is also the guidelines of what the den leaders are looking for in a Den Chief. So those are going to be the activities assistant, lead 5 songs, 5 skits, 5 games, 5 sports activities. We as den leaders can actually look at this and plan our meetings around this. We'll say, okay, my Den Chief has to do 5 skits. Well, let me plan a skit for my next meeting so we can knock that out, because that's what I know that my Den Chief needs to do.
And also what your it might be one of your den requirements also.
Yes, so that's also really great. We can tie that in. One of our bear adventures, I believe it's Roaring Laughter or Grin and Bear It. Roaring Laughter. You have to do 2 run-on skits. Well, if my Den Chief has to teach 5 skits and my requirement for my adventure is 2 skits, well, that's just gonna knock them out. People waiting. That's just gonna knock out all of those. You've said people. That's just gonna knock out all those requirements, you know, and that's how I'm gonna plan my meetings around, is the Den Chief Service Award. Moving on, just because I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to get to any discussions or questions. Please let me know if I am talking too much. What can Den Chiefs do? So Den Chiefs are not adult leaders. They are youth. They're kind of in that weird in between of, do you treat them as an adult? Do you treat them as a child? How are you going to do it? And that Den Chief is going to kind of mesh that all in together. That's going to kind of be the bridge for all of that. Den Chiefs can help with the activities. That's really, really big. They want the point of being a Den Chief is to be a leader. So we want to give them ample opportunity to lead. If I was reading up on Marble Madness last night. So part of the thing is to make an obstacle course for marbles, right? For my bear den. Well, my Den Chief can help lead the bears on how to make an obstacle course. That's going to allow me to step back and make sure that that Den Chief can be a leader in that area. I don't need to micromanage that. I'm able to watch and see how he interacts, or she, with the kids. I'm going to be able to step in if there's an adult that is needed for adult support. But my main goal is to get my Den Chief ready to be able to lead a meeting himself or herself.
And if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat group.
Yeah, as I'm just talking about. I also want my Den Chief to be able to read my agenda beforehand to help me with the agenda so that I can utilize their skills and strengths. So I would say to my Den Chief before the meeting, preferably at a Den Leaders meeting, if they are able to come to that, this is what I'm thinking. What are your strengths or areas of expertise within this parameter that you would be able to help with? They would say, I'm really excellent at doing skits. Awesome, let's do a skit. That's going to knock out a couple of requirements for me. It's going to knock out a couple of requirements for you. And the kids are really going to get, someone who's really, really good at skits. Just for an example is what we're trying to do. We're trying to utilize the Den Chief's strengths. And we also really want to teach the kids, the Den Chiefs, how to communicate effectively with smaller children as the Cub Scouts and adult leaders. because there is that different communications standpoints that you would need to be able to do. And being in a den chief position, you would need to be able to do both of those. I need my den chief to be able to communicate effectively with me as an adult about my agendas, about what's going on with the kids, about the meetings, and I need my den chief to be able to effectively communicate with my Cub Scouts and tell them, how are we going to teach this? How do I teach them to make an obstacle course for Marble Madness? How do I teach them how to make a marble bag? So I definitely wanted to make sure that we touched on that as well. Now with the den chiefs, with denners and assistant denners, so a denner and an assistant denner is my leader in my Cub group, in my den. And we all take turns doing it because every Cub Scout should be able to have a chance to be a denner and an assistant denner. It shows leadership and it teaches taking turns, which is huge. You know, one person cannot be the denner for the entire year or the entire length of the time they're in bears. They do need to split that with more than one child in the den. So with that, my den chief can help my denner and my assistant denner learn how to be leaders. They can say, okay, now we're going to go up to the front of the line and we're going to do flag ceremonies, right? They're not, my den chiefs are not going to conduct my flag ceremony because that is not their job. That's not their role in this, but they can be there. They can help with the scout oath, the scout law, the pledge of allegiance if they need anything, any help like that. They're going to be there as their buddy that they can look up to and say, oh no, I forgot one of the 12 points. Oh, my den chief is right there to assist. They're going to show them how to find those leadership opportunities as well that I may be having to talk with the other kids in my group, and I may miss a leadership opportunity for my denner or my assistant denner that my den chief might find and say, absolutely, yeah, let's go ahead and get you up here. You know, let's say we're making marble bags. Well, if my den chief can find a leadership opportunity for my denner to perhaps pass out the materials, that does not need me, and that shouldn't need me, because I want my den chief to take that initiative. I want my den chief to say, this is a great role for you, let's go ahead and do that, and they do not need my permission or my suggestion on that. So that's really why I want to try to teach the kids like excellent leadership skills. Look for those opportunities. How can we find those opportunities within a den meeting? How can we find those opportunities within a pack meeting? You know, I don't want my den chief to pass out the materials because that's not his role in it. I want my denner to. And we're really trying to show them how to lead by example. That's why, you know, with my denners, the big thing, you know, for me as a bear den leader is to make sure the kids can come in uniform if they can, be quiet during the flag ceremony, show reverence, right? Scouts reverence. If my den chief is not doing that, if my den chief is not in uniform and my den chief is not being quiet during the flag ceremony, then he is not leading by example. And I do not need that as a den chief, or as a den leader in my den chief. I want my den chief to be an example. I want them to be in proper uniform. I want them to help the kids, you know, throughout the pack sign or the Cub Scout sign and say, okay, we're going to be quiet now. I want my den chief to help quiet the kids down, not by, you know, shushing them or anything, but just by, you know, positively reinforcing quietness, because we're always positive reinforcement. We're never negative reinforcement. We're never punishment. We're never discipline. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Mark said, they're their mentor. They're a peer mentor. They're not an adult. And that's what we really need to remember within these den chiefs. How much time do I have?
40 minutes.
Oh, I have, until 8. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll keep talking. So when I had looked at the program initially, I know that I wanted to add a little bit more into leadership on my kids. I wanted to make sure that I was able to go into detail about what small group leadership is, how to handle situations, and how to break down the steps within the situations to analyze them, because a lot of times situations happen so fast. I want to be able to go back with my chief at the pack level is their program for the training. Do we do the Gen Chief training at the pack? Yeah, we do, right?
Yeah, there is a online version of the Den Chief training on myscouting.org. Also, me as a Cub Master, we selected a date. I got with the Scoutmaster of Troop 4014, and we picked a date, and we decided to do in-person training. So there is a syllabus for in-person training. It is it's on myscouting.org.
Yes. We're gonna choose to do the in-person training. Yep, no worries, Scott. To make sure that we go over the requirements, and then I did want to talk about to the kids the leadership in small group settings, how to be a leader, what we expect as den leaders. We want to make sure that these kids are meeting our expectations. Not only does that teach responsibility, but that teaches, you know, when you walk into a room for a role, what that means. Okay. Yeah, that was my next Den Chief leadership skills.
You keep going.
So I think one of the biggest things about teaching with the kids' leadership is really breaking down that Den Chief pledge. I'm gonna read it. I won't go into like full detail about it, but just to kind of give everybody an idea of what it says, because I'm sure we don't have it pulled up. So the Den Chief pledge, which is something that they're going to strive to be, is I promise to help the scouts in my den to the best of my ability, right? We're not asking these kids to be, you know, experienced teachers. We're asking them to be in middle school and high school and do the best of their ability to encourage, guide, and protect them, right? We're all about encouraging positive reinforcement. We're all about guiding them. We're not going to tell them what to do. The Den Chiefs are not adults. So we're not going to say, you need to go tell that Cub Scout what to do. That is not at all what we want. And we're going to protect them. My Den Chiefs are there to make sure that my kids stay safe, right? Because everybody, we all know with working with kids, you gotta be on a constant swivel, right? How many kids do I have? Is everybody here? No one's running away. Is everybody participating? You know, is everybody staying safe? No hitting, no punching. Are we all saying kind words? So to have an extra person there to help with that, it's right in the Den Chief pledge to protect them in all den and pack activities. And show them by my example, my example, it says specifically, not an example, the example, my example, what Boy Scouts of America stands for. That means, to sum it up, I suppose, be a good person, right?
Following the Scout Oath and
Following the Scout Oath and Scout Law, right? That is what Boy Scouts of America stands for. That's why we're in the program. That's why we are teaching the program to the kids. Because we believe in what it stands for. Well, I need my Den Chief to believe in what it stands for too, and I need them to be up there in uniform, obeying, you know, Scout Law and Oath. The next line of it, I will strive to be prompt and dependable. That means I'm going to get to my meeting early or at least on time, and I'm going to show up when I say I'm going to show up. I am not going to say I'm going to be there and then not going to be there. You know, if I can't be there, then I'm going to call my den leader and say, hey, can't do it. Of course, with 2D leadership and the parents attached, right? Because these are still children, not adults. but I'm gonna tell my den leader that I can't make it that day. I'm going to be telling them earlier, at least as early as I know. I'm not gonna do it last minute unless it comes up and it's an emergency, right? It's right there in the pledge. And to cooperate with the leaders in carrying out the den program. I need my den chiefs to be on my side. It's gonna be very, very difficult for me to run a den meeting if I've got to handle all of my Cub Scouts and I've got to manage a den chief who is not doing what I need them to be doing. They are supposed to be activity helpers. They are, they need to be engaged, they need to be participating, and they hopefully do not, sit there on their cell phones. That is not what being a den chief is. If you want to go sit on your cell phone, then perhaps being a den chief in this area is just not for you. As the last line in the den chief pledge, as each scout becomes eligible to move along the Cub Scouting trail, I will encourage the member and do all in my power to interest the Cub Scout in someday becoming a Boy Scout. That means what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk positively about the Boy Scout program, but truthful, but keep it positive. I'm going to tell them how much fun I'm having in my campouts, and I'm going to tell them about our patrol meetings, and I'm going to tell them about our activities that we did when they're asking, when it comes up in conversation. I'm not going to say, oh, that's a dumb activity, or I'm going to say, oh, maybe I didn't particularly like that activity, but let me tell you something that I really did enjoy. Right? Because we can't love everything all the time. We want the Cub Scouts to become Boy Scouts, right? We want to move them up to the troop level. And then we want them to become Eagle Scouts, if they're able to. So we want our den chiefs to come in from the troop level to be able to talk to my kids and say, yeah, being a Boy Scout is awesome, right? We want to see that growth. Not only is it great for development with the Cub Scouts, but it shows a lot when you get to be an adult, as I'm sure all of my Eagle Scouts here know. It's quite an accomplishment, especially from the kids who go into Cub Scouts all the way up into Eagle. And we want our den chiefs there every step of the way to help promote that growth in the program. And then I did write down a final thought on the den chief pledge. It says, the den chief pledge is a reminder on how the BSA Scout should behave at all times during the den meeting and around the Cub Scouts. And I think that sums up the den chief pledge. It's a lot of time. I must be talking fast.
Do you guys have any questions?
Sorry, I guess I'm just talking.
Yeah, more information put out, keep going, because they're not at the moment.
Okie doke. Okay.
So, how do you guys use your den chiefs?
Using den chiefs for years, good gene chiefs are an asset for sure. No questions now. I'm just like, okay, thanks, Brian. Yeah, does anyone can tell us like how they use their den chiefs in a certain way for a certain activity that's been really positive for the pack, or even for den chiefs to come back if you're at troop level to say, oh, I did this with the pack and it was really great. Because that's really what we want, is at the end of the day, we want the kids to have a good time, right? I do have some stuff I wrote. Hang on. Okay. I'm just gonna go. Okay, so I've been doing some research into leadership in small groups settings, right? Because we are in small group settings. Please just put a question on the board. I'm just gonna keep talking. I find that they are great to help each scout, and even as they grow up, I say scout and it's ways to be involved and engaged, always something new to learn and hopefully teach. Yes, absolutely. There are always ways to be involved and engaged, and I think that being a den chief is an absolutely great way to show the older youth that you can still be engaged and involved as an adult too. It kind of gives them, well, I mean, they're not going to be able to be a den chief as an adult, but they could look back on their experience and be like, oh, I really want to get more involved with the BSA. How do I do that? I remember when I was a den chief, and I remember I can get involved at the pack level instead of the troop level.
And den chief meets a lot of the leadership requirements for the for the different scout ranks.
Yes, including Eagle Scout, I believe.
Yeah.
So Jen, they are a great help for the leadership and the recruits for Scouts BSA. Absolutely, we do want to recruit, which is why even actually part of the Den Chief Award, there is a portion in there which says I have helped these Weeblos go up to the BSA level or the troop level. Excuse my language. Still getting used to all the language in here. There's actually a line like these are the specific names. There's also a line in the Den Chief Award that says I have recruited these scouts. We do expect the Den Chiefs to show up at our Cub Scout recruitment process and our activities. Of course, within their means if they're able to make it, but we do expect it. We want
those scouts that are crossing over from or from Arrow of Light to the troop will see those den chiefs as scouts when they are walking across the bridge and seeing them in the unit they're going to, and they'll see that they have a friend and they have somebody that helped them earn their rank in the troop. So it'll help them with the decision on what troop they want to join or help with guiding them into Scouts BSA.
Yes. Yep, Nicholas, it helps give them a familiar face for when they cross over. Absolutely, because they're going to know they can go into that troop and say, hey, you guys were my den chief, or I saw you as the other den chief in the pack. I'm going to have that relationship with you. It's also going to teach the kids social skills, socialization, especially for the Cub Scouts, on how to, maintain friendships, as they move forward into that. Yeah, absolutely, Mark.
And just FYI, we added the training to the chat. If you guys want to look at the chat and download it, we added it to the chat.
Yeah, that is the official online one as well. And then still have, how much time do I have?
A lot.
Okay, a lot of time. Okay. So I do have some examples when I was doing my research into this, because I believe I'm teaching the class on Den Chiefs, which we would all love to invite you guys to December 9th. If it's a Saturday. So I've been doing a lot of research into leadership and how that pertains to Den Chiefs and how to utilize those leadership skills, how to teach those leadership skills, and how to explain what those leadership skills are. So I'll give you guys a short little rundown of functions of a leader. So there are 3 functions as a leader. There's a task function, there's going to be a procedural function, there's going to be a relational function. Task function is going to be the steps for doing a particular series of work. Procedural is going to be the activities made up of a series of tasks, and relational is going to be creating and developing positive relationships within the group members. What this has to do with Den Chiefs is that you can actually break it down into certain situations and examples that come up and that you can see to make sure that you're teaching the correct leadership skills and that the kids are learning. They don't have to define this, but they do need to kind of be able to say, oh, yeah, that is how I would analyze the situation. This is how I would be a leader in it. Maybe not in so many technical terms, but let's say my task function in leadership, right, involves the steps and activity requires to reach a certain goal. Well, I want my den chiefs to be able to help with this and identifying the tasks needed and helping to implement them. What this shows them, or what this teaches them within adulthood, is that they're going to need to take a goal, personal goal, group goal, overarching goal, life goal, whatever, break it down into a series of steps. How do I achieve that? Well, we can start that in Cub Scouts. We can start that with them being a den chief. So just for an example of that, if I'm working on my adventure Roaring Laughter, right? Like I had mentioned before, one of my requirements is to run on skits. Okay, I'm going to tell my den chief, I need to do 2 run on skits. How are you going to do that? Well, he needs to be able to break down those steps. He needs to be able to say, okay, I got to find it. I got to find the skit. or create the skit. What skit do I want to do? I want to be able to identify the roles for these children that I need. I need to make sure that there are enough roles for every Cub Scout to have a role in the skits, because, right, we don't leave people out. We don't leave kids out. Everybody has a chance to participate. I need to be able to assign the roles to the scouts within their suggestions and opinions, of course, right? You can't just say, you're going to do this, and they're going to say, I don't want to do that. You know, you got to work with them a little bit. And then my last task function of that is I got to help the kids perform. And I need my den chiefs as adults to be able to take that goal and to break it down into a series of steps. Procedural functions, right? That's going to be what activities make a goal, you know, or what activities are made up of a series of tasks. So that's going to be like goal setting, right? That's going to be overarching. Well, I'm going to need my den chiefs in the pack level to know what requirements, not word for word, of course, or know what requirements that each adventure has. I need them to have an idea of what we're doing, right? I need them to be able to read my agenda and say, oh, yeah, we got to do this, we got to do that. That's going to meet these requirements, right? I don't need to memorize it, but I need them to be able to look at the adventure, and I need them to be able to see what are the steps that we need to get to this goal, right? So for an example would be, we are working on those 2 run-on skits, right? And part of that requirement is and perform them at a pack meeting or a campfire program. Well, my den chief should be able to identify that we have a pack meeting on the calendar. And to say, hey, Miss Kylie, we've got a pack meeting. We've got Roaring Laughter. I need these 2 skits done for my den chief program. This is going to knock out all those requirements, and we can do it at the pack meeting, which just finalizes the requirements and Roaring Laughter. Yeah, done, right? Those are going to be what I need my den chief to be able to understand. And of course, they're not going to come in understanding this. They might, but this can all be taught. This is all leadership skills that can be taught. How to analyze something, how to put into it. You know, while I realize these children are in middle school and high schoolers, we are asking them to have a big role. We are asking them to be in a leadership position within to my pack level to work with adults and adult leaders. I need them to be able to know how to do this thing, not only for me just as a den leader, but in high school, in college, they're going to need these skills to be able to break down a goal. Like, let's say, oh, I've got a huge test coming up. How am I going to be able to break down the tasks into it so that I can reach my goal? It's all going to start in Cub Scouts. It's all going to start as a den chief. And then relational functions, I would say probably is one of the most important. And again, that sounds very technical, but it's really not when you get into it. That's gonna be creating my positive environment. I want a den chief to walk into my den, to walk into our pack and feel comfortable and help create that environment for the kids. We are not going to have participation or a good time in a hostile environment. We are not. These kids are 5 to 11. We need them in a positive, we need them in a nurturing, and we need them in a safe environment. And I need my den chiefs to contribute to that. So like, let's say within my example of we're doing the run-on skits for Roaring Laughter, right? I've got a Cub Scout who's shy, right? He does not want to go up on stage. And instead of my den chief, fostering a really like hostile, negative environment, being like, whatever, I need my den chief to say, you know what? We're gonna go up there together. We're gonna do this together. I'm gonna perform with you. We're gonna go up stage together and we're gonna perform in front of everybody. And I'm gonna be with you there that entire time. That is going to create the environment that I want. That is going to create my loving, my positive, my nurturing environment. Yep, thank you, Scott. And that's really what we want at the end of the day. Okay, so I know that was a lot of me talking. Does anyone have any questions or anything I can answer about den chiefs? I've read into the program quite a bit. I feel I could answer any questions that you may have. I know we are almost out of time and I've been talking for a solid chunk of it. The course is gonna be, I believe, most of the day if we're teaching it in person, right? It's like 2 or 3 hours.
It's a 4-hour course.
4-hour course. I don't know how long the online version is because I have not taken it personally. But I would say it's probably about the same, an hour or 2. We'll be teaching a 4-hour class though. In person.
Yeah, the online class is an hour to 2 hours, depending on how fast you go through it.
Yeah. Hopefully slower. Who signs off on the den chief master? That would be Mark. I don't know that.
So the Cub Master tells the Scout Master what they have signed off. I've signed off on the award, and then the Scout Master just has blessed off on it in the past. The purchasing, it depends on the agreement that the troop and the pack has. I bought the den cords in the past for the den chief, but the troop can purchase them too. When we award, when Pack 4014 awards the cords, we ask to either be part of their code of honor, or we invite the troop to our meeting that we're going to award. We do it a lot in we do it at our step up ceremony in June. Is when Pack 4014 does it.
Okay, so the online
But,
training is a little over an hour. All right, yeah, the in-person training is a lot of more talking.
Yeah, well,
activities, questions.
Just like the in-person scout leader training is, it's a little bit more in depth than the online training.
Yeah, we're planning on, there's a lot of discussions in the facilitator's guide. There's a couple of activities depending on how big your group is. And that all counts for that. That's why we have that 4-hour mark. So we planned on 4 hours for that.
But thank you for the information, Ryan.
Scout to be a den chief. Yes. I don't remember what it is. Life scout.
First class.
First class. I'd like to take him in. He's welcome to come to ours, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan, if you wanna come, we're having our den chief training at the Oma Library, December 9th at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be teaching it, so you get to hear me talk some more.
If you would like to come.
Yeah, please,
And Matt
Absolutely.
McQuilton, the district trainer, is working on to see if there is a, code for in-person den chief training for us. Yeah, and yes, and just like, what Mary just said is, it can be overlooked, just like in our troop. We have no first class or second class scouts. So most of our scouts are the scout rank scouts.
Mhm.
So yes, you can't overlook it if you don't have any available first class scouts.
Scheduling conflict. No worries.
That works. Alrighty, if there is no more questions, we will go into closing and the commissioner's minute, and I don't see Christine on. So I will do, as the roundtable commissioner, I will do the commissioner meeting in a minute. And as Kylie was talking and I was thinking about the growth from the Cub Scout coming in to being a denner, to being the den chief, it reminded me of the scouting founders. Robert Baden-Powell was inspired by the oak to write the moral of the acorn and the oak in around 1925 that held that big things were possible from the modest beginnings. Baden-Powell said that the growth of the oak from a humble acorn to mighty tree was analogous to the growth of scouting from the 1907 Brown Sea Island Scout Camp to a worldwide organization, and the similar personal growth of a young person passing through the movement. And that's exactly what we were trying to teach tonight, and what Kylie was trying to teach is taking a Cub Scout to the troop and then having them come back as a den chief to show what they learned through the program
Yeah.
and
that's full
motivate
circle.
the scouts and making it full circle.
Absolutely. That's the goal in the den chiefs, is for them to come back and to teach what they've learned.
So if you guys don't have any more questions, we will end the roundtable for this evening.
Yep, thank you guys so much for letting me talk at you for a little bit. Appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for coming.